Thank you. Students, faculty, administrators, friends and relatives, exalted trustees, bored siblings on iPhones and future generations on YouTube, and of course, majestic sign language interpreter whose graceful gestures are like cherry blossoms wafting to earth. As my mustache implies, I have this problem where I take everything way too seriously. In first grade, my dad and I built a sick tree fort in the woods. And I remember when I brought my friends a week later, I got so personally offended that they wouldn't go in just because now it was full of bees. Was my craftsmanship not good enough? I'd worked so hard. Was the Pokemon card storage stump not spacious enough? I was the kid who went off on my high school friend group's coordinated Halloween costume plan because I thought it wouldn't read as Inception unless we had like a briefcase with wires coming out of it, when of course all we actually wanted to do was run around in formal wear going, "The dream is collapsing, we have to go deeper." Acoustics in this room are great. Nobody else cared about these silly things, but I just wanted to get them right. And I wondered, is there perhaps a place for we, the care-too-muchers, the people who get so wrapped up in their strange projects that they are excommunicated from the Church of Sleep? And if there is, oh Lord, could you please just send me a sign, a simple sign, any sign, as long as it's a lip dub? And now, as we face the future in our billowing moo-moos of educational triumph, it is self-evident how much we care. President Frank Underwood has said that imagination is its own form of courage. And I have seen so much courage here at Emerson. I have seen it on distant film shoots and in bustling TV studios, in rehearsals that ran the same moment over and over until we got it right, in callback deliberations and marketing meetings and writers' rooms that lasted till 2 in the morning and then turned fiery just because we all loved the same thing. Now, I could treat this like a pep rally and spend this speech preaching the gospel of our inevitable success, but frankly, I don't think I have to sell this audience on carpe diem and seizing the day. We've been seizing it since we got here, whether our hometown friends understood it or not, sometimes for non-tuition credit and sometimes just on the off chance that the PA or SM would bring Duncan. What I would like to talk about instead is what we're going to do with that diem after we've carped the crap out of it. So, friends, we graduate into remarkable times. Though there is no world war to conscript us and no distant Soviets threatening to blow us up, we are confronted by an unevenly distributed future which has afforded us both science-fictional wonders and profound new problems of its own. Content is the catch-all word we use to describe all the news and art things that are now instantly available to almost everyone. And because of the era into which I was born, if I'm going to start yelling furiously at a bunch of words, they're less likely to be on a draft card and more likely to be in my news feed, or on a news ticker, or they're just going to be a black screen with the words, "Executive Producer, Vince Gilligan." Thank you, that side of the room. There's so much stuff, the great ocean of human culture available as like 5 apps, and now that we are poised to swim in that ocean, we must ask ourselves what kinds of waves we want to make. Because now, we leave Emerson to begin our lives as professional creators of meaning, to become part of the great machine that generates capital C culture. You know, that thing that screams at us from every billboard, that compels us to binge watch the lives of imaginary strangers, that stays stuck in our heads sometimes years after the curtain falls in intermission. But this machine does more than entertain. It teaches us to construct meaning from our experiences. It helps children decide how to feel about the shape and color of their bodies. And most importantly, it can foster empathy and make us all less alone. Now more than ever, in a society still rife with both innocent misunderstandings and institutional prejudice, it might just be time to care too much. The writer Percy Shelley wrote that poets are the unacknowledged legislators of the world. He knew you cannot quantify the subtle and sweeping way that artists and communicators mold a civilization, and never has this meant more than in a world bursting at the seams with content accessible to everyone. This battleground for the hearts and minds of the public is the very arena we have all been trained to affect, and given that our actual legislators are gridlocked, this responsibility has never been more important. Just in our lifetime, we have seen how positive cultural representations can move the needle of popular opinion toward equality. And we all know personally how art can enlarge our perspectives and move our souls. What I am not saying is that your work is only valuable if it's political. What I am saying is that you cannot invest yourself in someone else's story without realizing that, as Neil Gaiman puts it, everyone else is a me as well. Good work takes us to other worlds, real or imagined, and once you've visited them, you can never be entirely content with the world you grew up in. Discontent is a good thing. Discontented people can modify and improve their worlds, leave them better, leave them different. So if poets really are the unacknowledged legislators of the world, then I would like to propose to you, class of 2015, that it is our duty to legislate well. Because we are up to the challenge. We're finishing 4 years in a proving ground, somewhere between a trade school and a wizarding college, where in both success and failure, we have taught each other to be good at what we love. Whether you're a writer, a director, an actor, a marketer, or a comm disorder as a person who does comm disorders, your work has the power to make this life more just, or even just more fun. People like us, the ones who are up until 2 in the morning, we're behind the Mona Lisa, the Magna Carta, and Left Shark. People like us wrote, "I have slipped the surly bonds of earth and danced the skies on laughter-silvered wings and cellar door." And we also wrote the most aesthetically pleasing sentence in modern music about a boy toy named Troy, who used to live in Detroit. We craft tweets and treaties and events and exposés and a million other celebrations of our vivid humanity, even though we are only human, insecure, and often a hot mess. We don't always know exactly how to treat each other or ourselves, but we will never stop aspiring, and we will never stop empathizing, and we won't go to bed any earlier, because, to plagiarize another legislator, though we are not perfect, we are not our mistakes. I know there are some of you who believe that art is a luxury and that make-believe is a pale imitation of action, and that I am taking all of this way too seriously. Well, I am. But to those of you who see what I see, a world of pages not yet written and stages awaiting great drama, a world brimming with fresh promise and stimulating problems in need of artists and communicators with the courage to solve them, a world perfectly suited to the talent and ambition of a Kappa, a Zeta, a traveling all-star, a treble maker, a spectator, an EPSJer, a Boylston berserker, a Mercuti, an M-Chan kid, an amigo, an Emersonian. Well, I'm sure I'll see you somewhere at 2 in the morning. Thank you, and I just wanted to wish you good luck. We're all counting on you.